Decision making. We make decisions every day. What kind of coffee to order, whether to check email before phone messages. Most of these decisions are made unconsciously. But for more important decisions, it's useful to follow decision-making process. Here's the decision-making process that I coach leaders and teams to use. Step 1. Determine your goals. What is it that you want to accomplish? What are your expected outcomes of the decision? You need to know what you want to accomplish from the start, or else the process can get muddy and you don't actually know if you got what you wanted out of the process. Next, determine your decision criteria. What are the characteristics that you want the decision to meet? Is it low cost, quality, low risk, satisfied shareholders, fit with existing software? Good decision criteria ensures that you aren't leaving your decisions to chance. Step 2. Determine your stakeholders. Who has a stake in the decision, or who will be affected by it? Getting buy-in from stakeholders is a critical factor because it occasionally conflicts with one of the decision-making criteria. For example, the employees may want a faster solution because of the stress that the current situation is causing. This might not fit with your initial quality criteria. In such cases, the best thing to do is to choose the lesser quality solution that has greater acceptance. And how will you get their input? Getting people involved in the decision-making process is the best way of getting their acceptance. So how can you get them involved in the decision-making? Step 3. Investigate the external environment. What do you need to know about what's happening outside of you that could impact you in the future? What's the probability of these things happening, and what should you do now about the important ones? Your life and your business don't exist in a vacuum. Neither should your decision-making. Step 4. Gather information. Gather numbers, data, feedback. Ask people. And use reliable sources of information. By the way, everything on the internet is not true. But remember that you cannot get all the facts. Get as many facts as possible about the decision within the time limit. You will never, ever make a perfect decision, except that every decision you make will be made in partial ignorance. Don't allow the lack of complete information to paralyze your decision-making. A decision based on partial information is usually better than not making a decision at all. When you're racing towards a river, you must decide to turn right or turn left. Which way you turn is less important than the fact that you actually did turn. Be realistic. Be realistic about the amount of information you want to gather. Many decision makers have a tendency to seek more information than they really need. Attempting to gather too much information could cause a delay in the decision, which could have a negative impact on the effectiveness of the solution. Remember working with one leader who had difficulty making a decision, so he kept asking for more information, thinking it would help him make the decision. Instead, it caused him to be overwhelmed and not able to make the decision. We worked back through the decision-making process together, emphasizing the decision criteria and unintended consequences of not making the decision. Then he was able to decide. Step 5. Identify the alternatives. Use creativity to expand your ideas beyond what you would normally generate. In the 1970s, when oil prices were increasing, automobile manufacturers wanted to reduce the weight of their cars. One group of experienced engineers were given the task, but concluded it was too expensive and would present safety problems. These conclusions were based upon years of experience. They knew it couldn't be done. A group of less experienced engineers were also given the problem. What happened? The less experienced group found ways to safely reduce the weight of cars. Why could the less experienced group find a solution when the others couldn't? It was because they thought the problem was solvable. So when listing all possible alternatives, include the creative ones. And also remember to include the do nothing as a decision, because sometimes it's better than some of the alternatives that you come up with. Investigate the risks, the cost, the timing, and the benefits for all the alternatives, and then rate them. What are the benefits to your organization of each option? Remember to be realistic. Your favorite option may actually not be the one that the company can afford to implement. Step 6, make a decision. Based upon the desired outcomes, the decision criteria, the impact on who's involved, what's happening in the external environment, the information you gathered, and the risks and benefits, make a decision. Remember that a decision that's left unmade will often result in the decision being made for you. And of course, don't forget to implement the decision, communicate with those who are impacted and the people from whom you gathered information, and then evaluate. Decision-making is an iterative process. It is not perfect. You might have to go back and update your decision-making criteria or add another person who's going to be impacted. This is normal and to be expected. Learn from the implementation of this decision, and it will make your next decision easier. I'm Valerie McLeod. I'm a business coach. I work with teams and leaders, and I love what I do. Some of the things I do is fine-tune leadership skills, like helping people learn a process to make more effective decisions. You can reach me in many ways, as you can see, and I would love to hear from you. Please contact me, and I'll talk to you soon. Thanks.